Time's up. Admiral.
Here it comes.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
What's the matter? Take yourself a great big bite of meat. Taste the pleasure of the highest quality pork around.
If somebody tried to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself. But go f yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob.
Little kid ears. When I first heard that, I heard not if you stick a lump of coal up his ass in 2 weeks, you have a diamond. When I heard as a kid, I sounded like in Twix, you'd have a diamond. Like, why are there chocolate bars up his ass? As a little kid, I didn't understand. Little kid ears hear things differently.
That's not even the funniest thing you just said.
What?
When you messed up, you said "cum in his ass," and then you started over.
I did?
Yes!
We want to enjoy what we're looking at. We don't want sores and fat whores. Liar! No.
Let me be as clear as I can. Ain't no colors in Scandinavia.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Well, we are here. It is the round table is back after our holiday hiatus. 2023 is coming to a close, and Happy New Year to everybody. I am Adam the Renaissance Nerd. I'm off camera. I apologize because while my internet had fixed itself again on Friday, apparently there was a power outage last night. It seems to have cracked itself over again, so I would be freeze framing all over the place, making beautiful meme footage of everybody. So I'm off camera. I apologize to everybody, but we are here. We are live. We are now shorthanded, but that's okay. We march on because it's what we do. It's what we do. So how are we doing, everybody? Hail and howdy, and welcome back to Jed and Dre. Jed, listen, you might be hearing some rumors. I've been spending too much time with Dermy.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know that I'm still ready to be committed to you. It's okay.
Well, I appreciate that. The rumors are getting so bad that I considered not even coming back at all. But it really warmed my heart to hear you say that, and I'm glad I chose to return to you.
That's good. I need something that isn't back taco related in my life.
Yeah.
Dermy's been everywhere. That's every week. Anyway, how you doing, Jed? You have a good Christmas? Haven't seen you since before Christmas.
Yeah, I had a great Christmas. Got to spend it with Rachel and her family up in New England, so that was great. And you know, it's just a fun, laid-back Christmas away from the internet because I didn't even watch the Doctor Who special, the Christmas special, until this morning. So I didn't sully my vacation with that nonsense. But it is time to get back to the grind. I have a video coming out later on today about the Christmas special, so it's time to get back to it and let the holiday cheer fade away. But I actually have something really funny that happened. Apparently, last year during the Prey stuff, I only just found out about this. Someone made a hate video on me that in the thumbnail, it was a full video, like a 20-minute video.
Oh my God.
And the thumbnail said, "I've never touched a woman and never touched a weapon."
Wow.
This is like, you know, my military experience. The woman in the next room might disagree with that statement.
Yeah. Fortunately, I can't say I have done both those things as well. So even though I'm a civilian, I have played with guns. Lots of guns. But all right, so it's great to have you back, and I am eager to hear your thoughts on the Doctor Who stuff because we did a lot of coverage on it while you were on break. And I know you just didn't have the time, but I'm glad you're here to talk because they are coping so hard.
As usual.
And they're so salty.
They're just glad it's a different show. And they're mad at us for not being glad it's a different show.
Powder dry. We're going to get to that. But here's a man who isn't salty. Here's a man who has plenty to be happy about. Our good friend Dre. The Brute Daniels. Dre.
Feels good to be back. Feels good to be back with you all.
I still sort of saw you on Ballbusters, but I haven't seen you since before Christmas. How are you? Did you have a good Christmas?
I am doing excellent, my friend. I am doing excellent. Travel the Within will be funded by day's end. I
Yes.
am
Hey.
fired up. It will be
Outstanding.
funded by days, and I am about to get naked in the streets.
We'll wait till we're off
The
camera.
emperor has lost his clothes because they ain't new. I am fired up. This has been great. It's been a heck of a week as well. A whirlwind of interviews and all other great stuff. Um, Potential book tour coming 2024. So there's a lot of good stuff
Very
coming.
nice.
So I am very, very fired up. It's been a heck of a week, and I enjoyed my holiday off. It was great. I enjoyed it. I was chilling. Didn't have to do a whole lot of stuff. Glorious. Great time to be alive. Went to go see Godzilla again. A lot of good things. A lot
I
of good
need to
things.
watch it.
Yeah, a lot of good things happen.
I'm the
So
only one who doesn't want to watch it.
Well, Dre,
For
since you
whatever
mentioned you're going to be running around naked, is this a Love Actually situation where, like, have you seen Love Actually?
yes, I've seen Love Actually. Yes.
Bill Nighy's character, whatever, is like, if my Christmas song goes platinum or whatever, I'm gonna do the whole song naked on live TV.
That's
Is that
correct.
what we're looking at here?
That's exactly what we're
Right?
looking at.
Save it for
Okay.
Ball Busters. That fits on a Ball Buster.
That would be pretty funny if you did like a naked stream, like
Oh,
on
yeah.
Twitch, the Twitch stuff, and then you like read the first issue of Treble.
Of course, because I would
dramatic reading.
love to
A
put a
dramatic,
black bar all over me.
but you don't address the chat at all. You just go live and start reading a deadpan, stare into the camera, and then shut off.
That's perfect. I might just do that and then be banned forever because male genitalia is not welcome there.
Well,
So,
you still censor it.
That and meat aprons.
yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
We don't talk about that around here. That filth and degeneracy is left for Ball Busters and other streams. Anyway, again, hail and howdy, everybody. Happy New Year. Let's say hi to the chat and let's get started. Guys, remember, Trouble River Within. Go to it. Legatus is sharing the links right now. Link in the description below. He's already said he's going to get up. You know what? Let's go for bonus. Let's go for bonus money, guys. Let's do it. All right. So hail and howdy to the chat. Happy New Year, one and all. Hail Legatus Leading is one of my mods, one of my regulars, my personal troll to keep me on the straight and narrow. Hail to you, Jaden Hamilton, still on break from his training. And good luck to you, my young friend, as you continue to want to protect our country. I appreciate that. Sam 8000 for $2 off the bat. John Wilkes Booth was a patriot. I've never heard that take.
No.
So I'm not sure how to comment to that, but thank you for the $2, Sam 8000, a veteran of the streams, and I hope to continue to earn your support in 2024. Going on down the list, Hail Hussein, how are you? Welcome. Good afternoon, Kale. Hail John Shaggy Ropus. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you as well. And everybody else is chilling out watching. It's already a busy Sunday afternoon. There's a lot of stuff going on. We're happy to have you here. We hope you enjoy the rest of the show and the replay because it's not a topic-packed show because it's the end of the year. The most news we've had has all been around Doctor Who and a few other things like here and there. But it's time to be retrospective because that's what we're going to do. We're going to start off by giving one last giant dump on Doctor Who for the end of the year because we don't get to be sullied by it for another 4 months until then. But we're going to give it one last go. And also, Jed hasn't had a chance to vent his frustrations. I've had multiple videos and a 2-hour plus stream with Dermy and Ryan to get it all out there. So I've gotten most of my frustrations out there, but Jed has not. So we're going to give Jed an opportunity. Also, just to piss off the stands, these fake fans, these goddamn tourists, because they're so salty that we don't like it. And as I've said many times before, I'm doing this out of spite at this point. Everything I do to cover this, everything I do is out of spite. I'm here to ruin their day because they've ruined one of our franchises. But we'll get to that. And then we're going to take our time. Everybody's already heard a lot of the other streams, a lot of the other big panels other than this, talk about their lists, this and that of 2023 and what they're expecting 2024. We're going to kind of try and give you a little bit of a different take. We're going to talk winners and losers of 2023. That's how we're going to try and shake it down. We'll see where the conversation goes. Not exactly sure. I have no plan today other than that. And of course, then we will give our predictions of 2024, including some updated predictions, as I've been promising when it comes to, let's just say, the lifespan of the MCU, because it is the end of the year, literally for some people, it's already 2024. I got another 10 hours, a little less than 10 hours before I get to ring that bell. But anyway, all right. So let's get started. R.I.P. Doctor Who. R.I.P. Doctor Who. It is done. There's no saving it.
Oh, it's entirely done. The Timeless Children destroyed the franchise. Now Russell T Davies is coming in to fully reboot it as a completely different franchise with very little and similar. It's called Doctor Who. There's a police box that's bigger on the inside that travels through space and time. That's about it. That's about the only thing that they're carrying over. So yeah, this isn't Doctor Who. This is as much as they've admitted. They're restarting the show, starting with series 1. They're changing it from a sci-fi to a fantasy show. Every interview is like, this will piss off Doctor Who fans. This is for a new audience. They're constantly, they haven't said it outright, but they're saying it with everything that they're actually saying is, this isn't Doctor Who anymore. And we have no intentions of making Doctor Who. We have intentions of making whatever we want, but not Doctor Who. So yeah, no, it's well and truly dead. And I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too, because I like the idea. Series 1, great. Shooty-gatwa. You just watch the special. I didn't see the Doctor at all in that.
No.
He wasn't there. Listen, I've made several takes on this. I've had the stands pushed back at me. There were moments in this, and I could see them because we've experienced Russell T Davies when he had it. We've experienced him writing for good doctors and good actors who can portray the Doctor. There were at least 2 or 3 moments in this where we could have had a Doctor speech.
Oh, easily.
Doctor speech where he tries to save as many lives as possible or do something poignant. Here are the 2 that jump out to me, and I want your opinion on this. The goblins weren't even villains. They were just there. This weird thing that their whole existence is to season babies with bad luck and eat them. That's their whole existence, from what I can understand. And feed it to the Goblin King on a conveyor belt.
Yeah, coincidences season baby meat, apparently.
Yeah. And so they have no personality, they have no dialogue, they have no real mission, they have no desire, and they're not even really a threat. Anything. And so you get into the Goblin ship and you have the Goblin King when he's revealed. In real Doctor Who, this would have been a moment where you have a chance to have the Doctor have a conversation with the Goblin King, the big villain, the leader of these things, and it doesn't happen.
Oh, he sings to it.
Instead, they sing. And the Goblin King just roars for more baby food. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And
great opportunity for a speech there. Similar to, I mean, Rose. Look at Rose. The first episode of Russell T Davies' initial era with the restart of the show back in 2005. He gave the whatchamacallit, the nesting consciousness a chance. Like, yeah, they're about to kill a lot of people, but he's still going to give them a chance. He's still going to give them a speech to try and convince them to leave humanity alone. Instead, it's just you're the Goblin King, the Goblin King. Oh, you're the Goblin King.
And here's my friend Roby. I want to say Rose again. I keep wanting to say Rose. Here's my friend Ruby, and she's going to sing now, and then I'm going to drift away on a rope. Yay! And
it was so weird.
It was so bad. So there's that. And then, of course, the one that's really detrimental to me in terms of the Doctor not being the Doctor, you have, after Ruby's been blipped out of time by the goblins who aren't supposed to be able to travel through time.
Yes, he very clearly states they can see and manipulate time, but they cannot time travel.
Yeah.
And then they time travel and he doesn't even address it.
Yeah. When he's left with her foster mother and they're having the conversation about why her life is empty, that's a moment where you give a Doctor speech about humanity, about family, about all this kind of stuff. All we get are, then why are you crying? And then I'm the Doctor and I'm going to cry. Make sure you can see my tears.
Yeah, he just was sobbing.
Yeah.
He barely met this girl. He barely met Ruby. Ruby gets erased from time, and he's like, my soul is dead. No. It was way over the top.
But that could have been a Doctor speech, but instead he cried, and I've made fun of him crying, and people going, Eccleston cried. I don't care. Eccleston was the Doctor, and he actually gave a Doctor speech when he did that kind of shit.
And it was more single man tier type
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and it was in actually emotionally compelling moments.
This was, I can see the tears running down your face, and they even pause and make sure you can see that tear running down his face, the tear trails. It was emasculating.
Oh, incredibly so. And that was the case throughout this entire episode. They wanted to make sure that, he had hot gay sex with Houdini, that he...
Oh, I made... My cold opener for my review was about that, and somebody goes, that's I got two things. One, to grow up. And I said, get a sense of humor. It's a joke for a cold opener. And the other one, they already mentioned in past Doctors that he hung out with Houdini. I didn't reply to that one, but my reply is, yeah, but they didn't stress they had hot, gay, sweaty sex with him until now.
But yeah, he's entirely masculine.
Poor Drake. There's no idea what we're doing here.
I have no clue. I'm sitting there. I'm like, look, I've been on record several times. I'm not into Doctor Who. It's not my thing. But everything you're describing me sounds like a night in hell in Chippendales. I don't know what's going on. That is...
Neither do we, and they don't explain it.
Nothing.
Do you know how they get away with, in their minds at least, not explaining anything and covering up all the massive plot holes? Goblins like coincidences and bad luck, and so all the coincidence, bad luck, plot holes, and anything that doesn't make sense is because of the goblins, so it doesn't need to make sense, and we don't need to explain anything ever.
Well, all right, then, Jed, explain this to me. In terms of its poor... Everything was worded. Not even the story, but the way the episode was run was structured like shit.
Oh yeah, the scene transitions were
and the pacing. My favorite example of this, and again, guys, you've heard me talk about this, but Jed hasn't talked with me about this, so I'm going over this stuff again. There was that moment when we have to death-proof the house, and suddenly you feel the tension. Okay, there's tension. They're rushing around doing this stuff. No, then let's pause for 5 minutes and talk about pictures on a refrigerator. Let's just stop.
Forget about the baby in the other room while you're doing it.
Nobody's watching the baby. We stop all this thing. It's after that, and we talked about this on Wednesday. There is a definite conversation going around out there now that maybe Russell T Davies wasn't who we always thought he was, and maybe it was the people he surrounded himself with that made his original season so good,
like Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss.
Yeah, that there were filters, there were buffers, there were people who basically, and again, I say this with all respect to George Lucas, there were people who in George Lucas's life kept him from going too far at certain points,
especially in the sequels, in Empire and Return.
And then in the prequels, that was George who was just surrounded by yes men, and the prequels, they're still Star Wars. I love and hate them at the same time.
There's a massive decrease in quality, but there's still something of value there.
And
absolutely.
Perfect phrase. There's still value there. Russell T Davies, there's not even value in this. There's not even value in this because you have everything is either bad humor, the forced jokes, the forced humor, the pacing,
the breaking of the fourth wall at the end.
Oh my God! Okay. After I did my review, after I've done the streams and my videos, during my review, I commented on Old Lady Chick, who was in it, and I commented about all her entire existence in the episode. And somebody tried to tell me that she's existed in prior episodes, and I said I don't care. Whatever she's now, it's ruined. But
people think she's the Ronnie.
And here's my response to that. Not even Gary knew who the hell she was. So if Gary doesn't know who she was, Gary, like you, top tier Doctor Who nerd, I'm a casual Who nerd. I don't feel bad about not knowing who she is, if at all. So, but I got yelled at for that by a stan, and they're clearly setting her up for something. There's so many bad stingers, Easter eggs for what might be to come in this.
Well, that's the thing is. Throughout that, even with those stuff, but just the general in-episode exposition is being developed like it's for toddlers. Like, how many times did they it is Ruby's birthday on Christmas Eve. Oh, it's Christmas Eve on Ruby's birthday. And there were so many examples of stuff like that. Like, this is... And, like, the exposition you're talking about. Ooh, never seen a TARDIS before. Like, everything in this episode was expecting you to be a toddler who needed to be told 7 times what you were actually seeing.
I have
How
a question.
Yes.
Was this an SNL skit?
No.
I wish.
No. Well, it might have been a modern day one because that's not funny either.
Because I'm listening to what you guys are saying. Of course, all the references I don't really get, but nonetheless, structurally, this sounds like a complete and utter waste of my time.
Absolutely.
And I mentioned this during my review and other conversations. Jed, you hate coincidence storytelling,
Mhm.
and they made this whole episode coincidence storytelling. Unbelievable.
But
Everything
he's got to
was
learn the language of ropes, the vocabulary of
and the science
twine.
of luck. And the science of luck. Oh, I have a new science, the science of luck. Yay! Not to mention also, I'm coming back to this now. The Doctor tries to save as many people as possible. And it's a hallmark of Doctor Who. He doesn't always save everybody. And it's a great day when he can save almost everybody.
Yep.
This is carrying on the chin balls tradition of, I'm just going to gank everybody in sight to solve the problem.
Yes. So the Doctor is very much violence is an absolute last resort. He very rarely kills, and it destroys him when he has to kill. Like, he has to think about it. He has to suffer afterwards. Like, killing is a big deal. But randomly at the end of the episode, he grabs a flying ship, as in like a sailboat, a flying sailboat.
An airship.
But an airship, but it looks like a normal, like a 17th century sailboat. He grabs it with magic gloves that mean weight, that cancels out weight. He pulls it down by a rope ladder onto a castle spire and skewers a giant goblin through the chest, and it unravels the entire ship from time, erasing the goblins from existence. So yeah, he just casually murders a whole ship full of beings without even caring. And then his companion, Ruby, is a baby at this point who's in the ship with the Goblin King. He isn't even remotely concerned about killing the baby he's trying to save by skewering the ship on a church spire. And then the baby, somehow he gets to the bottom of the tower in the next 2 seconds. Or he jumps off, that's right. Yeah. But the baby falls from the sky because the ship no longer exists. And he catches the baby with his bare arms, and the baby's fine. The baby falls like, 3-4 stories?
At least 50, 60 yards.
Yeah, without any protection. His magic gloves had broken at that point, and he caught her with his arms anyway. But yeah, the baby's dead.
I love how at the end of Act 2, he makes he has a throwaway line, there's only 33% left on the gloves. Well, apparently that 33% was plenty to kill the goblins.
No, I thought he said 3%.
33%, 3%. I listened to it a couple of times, but still, apparently they had a moment to make a crisis moment where his new little doodad would fail him. But nope, it was plenty.
It was exactly what he needed. More coincidences made by the goblins to destroy the goblins. Don't think about it.
Byford the Hobbit here's references, of course. Happy New Mavity, Jed. You caught the Mavity.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I missed it on my first thing. I only caught it when I was making my clips for my review, and I realized, you bastards, you're fucking running with the Mavity shit.
So for Dre and anyone else in the chat who's unfamiliar, in the second 60th anniversary episode, David Tennant's Doctor with Donna accidentally went back and met Sir Isaac Newton, but this was, of course, the Indian or the Pakistani version of Isaac Newton, and they said gravity, but he misheard them and thought they said mavity, and so now in all of human history, it's mavity instead of gravity, and they brought that back in this episode. The Doctor's like, it's a matter of mavity. Yeah.
And he still calls mavity, even though the TARDIS in that moment would have protected them from timeline changes. It's ridiculous. This whole thing is...
This sounds retarded.
It is.
And you know what? Good. Finish say your thought.
Just real fast. The thing about Shudigatawa's performance that surprised me the most is how different it was from moment to moment. Like, I expected the flamboyant, over-the-top caricature of a performance. That's 100% what he's known for. That's 100% what we got for most of the time. But when he wasn't the center of attention or wasn't actively saying something or being told to react to something, he was deadpanning the shit out of it. It was either... That was like the entire episode. It was one or the other. There was no in-between setting for him.
That was nightmare.
Okay, let me make a couple things clear. I'm not familiar with this actor at all.
He was in Barbie.
He was in Barbie? Oh, well, I zoned out through that film.
He's trying
that
to bleach
gave me
his
energy.
Barbie still. We don't go there.
So he was in Barbie. That's his claim to fame. Is
Well,
that?
no, he's got a Netflix show where everybody's gay.
Yeah, it was a Sex Education on Netflix. He's one of the
I
main
don't.
characters.
Never
He
mind.
just has sex with a bunch of men
Never mind.
while in high
That's the
school.
other thing.
Never mind.
I watched this originally before Spite has taken over. This is going to be my out, and I was originally watching, as Jed put it a couple weeks ago, to get a feel for Ncuti Gatwa as a doctor, so I can say I've seen him full on for an entire episode as doctor, not just running around without his pants on and tennis shoes on. He has zero presence.
Mm-mm.
He has no gravitas. He cannot carry a scene. He has nothing. No je ne sais quoi. Zero. It's just he is there to give you his gay man smile and be flamboyant and overact in scenes and do overacting big flamboyant gesture things. That's what he's there for. And to dance with gay men on a dance floor.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's what we got coming on. And I got the stark impression from that trailer, and obviously I don't actually expect this is going to happen, but the whole like, oh, how bad is this going to be side of my brain went, is he going to try to keep the Beatles together by making the certain one gay for him the Beatles didn't break up because the doctor had sex with the Beatles?
Trailer. I haven't seen the preview trailer yet.
So yeah, they go back and meet the Beatles. And
okay, whoa, back up. Okay, help me out. Is that something that's usually featured in Doctor Who? Time traveling and meeting famous people?
Yes. It's a time travel show.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the basic of it. Is his spaceship, the TARDIS, the police box is the time machine.
Okay.
But he's gonna go back and meet the Beatles. And the first thought I had is he gonna stop them from breaking up just because he turns gay?
I don't know. I didn't watch it yet because I want to be surprised.
But you made a reference to the trailer. Oh, you were talking about a different. So there's have you seen Mindhunters on Netflix? The guy from Mindhunters,
No.
He's going to be in the new season going forward. Well, he's actually a really good actor. Half the trailer was him dancing with the Doctor provocatively in the 1700s.
Oh, great!
That's what I thought you were talking about with the dancing with other men.
No.
It's full on like staring into each other's eyes, like we're gonna have so much fun.
Oh no! I was just referring to the episode where he was on the dance floor in the kilt and the wife beater.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of that, so for those who haven't seen the episode, like Dre, the episode opens with a flash forward to the end of the episode, whatever, and then Ruby going through her normal life for a little bit, and she randomly meets the Doctor in a club, and the Doctor doesn't know who she is, whatever. But there's randomly a moment.
Ruby is the white woman, right?
Yes, the companion.
And Millie Gibson, she's attractive. Dumb as a post, can't act, but she's attractive.
Yeah. A few scenes before that, the Doctor is randomly standing in the room near her, staring at her with a hat on, all dramatic-like, for no reason whatsoever. I initially thought when I saw that moment, this is going to be him from the end of the episode going back in time to check up on her, similar to how Matt Smith did in the first full episode of Clara as the companion, the Bells of St. John. But they never explain it. It never means anything, never goes anywhere. And we actually found out from an interview with Russell T. Davies recently that Disney wanted them to put that shot in there. That was the last thing they ever filmed because we didn't see him for a long time. There was like a 5-8 minute period where Ncuti Gatwa wasn't on screen. So they're like, just throw him in there. We need more of this Black Doctor. We haven't seen him in a while. Throw him in there. It's like, but that's not going to make any sense. I don't care. Just throw him in there. So yeah, there's just randomly a shot of him staring creepily at Ruby for no reason whatsoever. And apparently it's just Disney's interference.
Whole thing's a disaster, and it's already playing out as a disaster because we haven't gotten the consolidated numbers yet. We're still a couple days away from that. Probably my guess is we'll probably get it till Tuesday and
Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah. But this thing's already fallen off a cliff. And the defense by the stands, it's cope. Jed, you got the numbers?
I do have the numbers. So
let's get them up there.
The coping has been really something special because they keep coming up with new reasons why you can't compare these numbers to any other numbers that have ever existed.
Streaming has changed the world.
Just accept that they're good. Doesn't matter what they are. They're just good because nothing else matters. But these overnight figures, these first three rows are from the 60th anniversary specials with David Tennant, and these are just UK numbers, and these are extraordinarily low. The first episode featuring Jodie Whittaker had 8 million overnight views, and
Consolidated got 10 million in the end.
Yes, well over 10 million. Shooty Got was first episode. The Next Doctor is at 4.73. That's almost half of the audience has departed. This is the lowest viewed first Doctor episode in the show's entirety. This is the lowest viewed Christmas special in the show's entirety. It's horrendous. But TV's changed. You can't compare it to even last year, let alone all 60 years of the show.
Yeah.
Well, there were less people in the UK in 1963, a lot less people, and somehow it got way more views than this when no one knew what Doctor Who was.
And out of the current 65 million, I made the point in my numbers video about how Doctor Who is a special thing. It's something that the population rallies around and they get together. It is an iconic thing. And I was told by somebody, well, I've lived in England. I'm British of England. We never made it a thing for us. I didn't reply to them, but I'll reply now. Well, you're not representative of your country.
Yeah, even Dragon Lady, who's usually on here with us, she doesn't watch Doctor Who, but she's always telling us how much she hears about it, how
and
influential.
Her dad watches it.
Her dad.
Yeah, and it's very influential to her, even though she's never really seen it. It very important. Like the best episode to refer back to is The Voyage of the Damned, one of David Tennant's final Christmas specials. About halfway through his Christmas specials. It got 20% of the entire population of the UK to watch. Something insane. But for this, barely anyone checks out. Yes, it is a slight improvement over The Giggle, which did surprise me, but it's only slight. And if you're already at the bottom of the barrel, it's nothing.
And they're still hiding, I believe, the consolidated. Or they do have the consolidated there for the Giggle.
So up until this week or recently, at least after the Giggle came out, they were reporting the consolidated fully together here, the +7 right here. But now they switched their metric to differentiate between TV only and 4-screen only. They split the consolidated numbers in two. Which
now help me out here, Jed. I'm not familiar with this split. What is 4-screen? I'm not sure what that means.
So this is actually a relatively new thing. Consolidated just meant how many people watch it in a week. The overnight was the first night, consolidated was a week, but this +4 thing is brand new, at least when it comes to these viewership figures. It means the TV only one to the left are the people who watched it on traditional cable, basically. And then the +4 screen is like who watched it on their phones, who watched it on their tablets, who watched it on their computer, stuff like that.
Yeah. Got it.
There hasn't been this distinction made as far as I'm aware in Doctor Who. But I think the reason they did it is because
Disney Plus.
They don't have Disney Plus in the UK. It's not. This is UK only numbers.
Okay, you're right. It's UK only.
So this is the iPlayer website.
Yeah. You're right.
But on the 7th day after the Giggle came out, when these numbers should have come out, we got reports from legitimate sources saying that the consolidated numbers were this one, 6.58. And the stands are like, that's a fake one. Don't look at that one. That one's not real. And then a few days later on the Wednesday after, we got this full 6.85. It's
not much better.
It's not much better, but they're like, that's the real one. That's the actual consolidated. But why was there that discrepancy? And I think this split is trying to explain away the discrepancy when I actually believe that they're not doing 7-day numbers. I believe that they're doing 10-day numbers and trying to make you think they're 7-day numbers. And so they added in this split to explain away everyone seeing the real numbers initially at the 7-day mark.
And what I get out of this is they're so desperate. And when I say they, I mean the stands, these fake fans, these tourists. They want this. They think this is a win.
Mm-hmm.
They think and if you go to the giant list of all the ratings for all the episodes for decades, this barely scratches around mid-level Joey numbers.
Mm-hmm.
There's no winning here. There's only losing. I mean, one of the comebacks I got at me were the attempted dunks. We'll just say during the week was. I had a spaz one, and Dermy had said he had the same guy come on one of his comments who for 7-8 times in a row just yelled at us, lying when it comes to the numbers. And
we showed the numbers.
Real. And I showed the numbers. Numbers don't lie. But then I'm lying because when I say it was the third highest rated Christmas Day thing this year after the King's Speech and a reality dancing show, Christmas special. First, I got told the reality dancing show Christmas special, that's an iconic thing. We all love it here in England. It's just, okay. It still beat Doctor Who.
Well, in the past, Doctor Who has competed with stuff like that.
Yeah. And it trounced it. It beat it hard.
Mhm.
And then when I say it's the third one, lying, it's the number one scripted show. How many times have we reviewed stuff in the past year where we break out the Nielsen tables, the Nielsen ratings, and in order to even find the shows that we rag on, you have to go to scripted or fiction or this or that. You have to go to a sub-tab for it to rank. When you have to tell me that it ranks on a sub-tab, a subcategory, a sub-rating, you've lost your argument. Something is successful when it beats out everything and breaks into a top 10.
If this were a new show or whatnot, these numbers would be fine. But this, you can't compare Doctor Who to nearly any other show that exists. It's Doctor Who. It is a cornerstone of British culture. It's been going for 60 years. In a previous episode, 20% of the population of the country watched an episode on Christmas Day. This isn't just, it's the best scripted, so it's great, yay. No, this is Doctor Who. It's supposed to compete with everything. Yeah. It's supposed to be better than everything. This is like saying, Battlestar Galactica isn't doing, it would be doing amazing if it were getting Star Wars numbers right now, but Star Wars can't be doing Battlestar Galactica numbers.
No. Listen, we'll probably jump into this when we talk about our winners and losers. Talk about numbers, we'll say Star Wars as an example. That god-awful Percy Jackson show is doing better numbers than Star Wars apparently right now.
And I don't care.
I don't care.
And that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. And I'm not dealing with those Percy Jackson stands. They're nuts. I've seen what they behaved like on the release week and post.
Mm-hmm.
They are weirdos. They really are. But we'll save that for our next segment. The cope is real. The cope is real. The crying is real. And Jed, how did you put this before when we were talking about this? They're angry at us because we don't like that it's
a new show, and we're not happy that it's a new show. Well, imagine, Dre, if you've been reading, I don't know, this is random, Marvel comics.
Sure.
Your whole life, and then one day they started releasing, comics about My Little Pony and saying that it's Marvel.
Great. Got it.
Imagine, it still has Marvel on the front, but it's actually My Little Pony.
Yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't have any interest in it. It's got nothing to do with what it represents, whatever, blah, 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 blah.
That's why I'm not watching going forward.
Yeah,
it's not Doctor Who.
I'm not interested in it. Like if you take the same example of like, oh, this is Marvel or whatever, you replace the X-Men with My Little Pony, I'm leaving because it's not X-Men. So I'm going to leave. You can call it whatever you like, but if it doesn't feel like it, if it doesn't connect with me on that way, I'm leaving. It's not hard to understand. And the idea that, oh, you must hate fill in the group blank, whatever, blah, 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 because you don't like this. No, you don't like it because it's not what it is. I am not a Doctor Who fan at all. I was at my cousin's house last night. Huge Doctor Who fan.
Oh, okay.
When I came in, he was in the midst of watching the 7th Doctor. I don't know who that would be, but whatever. He was having himself a good time. And I come in, I was like, oh man, watching Doctor Who. I was like, hey, we were just talking blah, blah, blah. And he was like, man, God, I hate Shooty got whatever, because he saw the special or whatever.
But wait, Dre, your cousin's black. He
because
like a black doctor.
Yeah, because black folks don't like black people either. So it's like it's the same old thing. Like it doesn't matter what your color is. If you suck, you suck. And so my cousin, who's like the only person in our family that like watches Doctor Who, and he's like, yeah, this is garbage. I don't like. He watched the special. He's like, this is a complete waste of my time. I hated it. I won't be watching this ever again. That's why I'm binge watching Doctor number 1 all the way to
That's
wherever.
impressive.
And
Yeah,
there-
yeah.
that's a
whatever.
fan. That's
Yeah.
a fan.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love it that he hasn't let them ruin it for him, that he's going to
Mhm.
go back and enjoy it.
Yep.
And he
Yep.
doesn't have to watch it. I'm going to watch it for him out of spite.
Yeah.
I don't even have enough spite left to give. It's a
Oh,
full reboot.
well,
It's a different show. So
Chet, the stands have pissed me off.
have they?
I am just annoyed. They haven't triggered me. I'm just annoyed. And listen, I get called phobes and ist all the time, and they went full bore during the comments. I
Mhm.
got called all kinds of things for my review. So did Dermy, and both of us agreed we are here to annoy them because they've annoyed us. We are gonna do. If you go, those of you who don't know, myself and our weird little friend Dermy Wormy, we are
Boy.
going to be doing a dual review, either recording or stream. We haven't talked it out yet. We got 4 months to figure this shit out. We're going to be doing a dual review. Dermy will probably do his own review, but that'll be my review when Dermy and I sit down and talk about the episode. We're going to be doing that for you guys, and we're doing it out of spite. Dermy's doing it out of spite. He's also doing it because he likes the clicks. And I get accused all the time now for this stuff too during this Doctor Who spree. Look at this angry grifter, fake nerd, angry nerd, toxic man. He's just doing this for the clicks and the views. Yeah, it's my fucking job. I try to make money doing this. I'm trying to do everything to get views. I also have to be telling the truth and being honest and being authentic in how I feel about this as a regular casual Doctor Who fan who's watched this stuff for over 20 years. Longer than probably half the people yelling at me have been alive. So, yes, I'm going to do this stuff. And I'm also going to, like Jed asked us to do when we were right before we started the 60th, I can still go back and watch some real Who. And I did. I watched 11th Hour as my homework when we were doing Jed's Who stream, pre-60th Who stream. And it was great. I loved every second of it. I can go back and watch real Who and be fine. And I'm glad that Dre's cousin can still do that too and not let them take it away from him. So that's what I'm doing. It's spite, and I'm gonna try and make money off these bitches. Monetize your haters, and also it's the deal I have with every single person in this chat. Everybody who chooses to subscribe to my channel, I watch the garbage and review it, so you don't have to. And there's also the thing, and this is not a shot. This is just the truth. The bigger nerd channels, the bigger channels who cover the Who stuff, they're not doing it. Gary's out, Az is out, Mahler's out. They're done. They're not covering this stuff. Somebody's got to step in and be the person to watch the garbage so that others don't have to. And Dermy and I are happy to do it. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time with it, and we're going to entertain you while we do it. All right, so Jed, closing thoughts on all this nonsense?
Oh, yeah, just everything that I said before. This episode was incredibly poorly written. It wasn't nearly as woke as I expected to be or politically driven. It was just bad, very poorly put together, acted, the writing. The exposition was a sledgehammer that they beat you over the head with, and it's just not Doctor Who, confirmed by everything that they've said. I still don't get the whole comment from Russell T. Davies that said this episode would piss off diehard fans. I didn't get the reference there. I didn't see anything in there that would have... I don't know what... That he said that weeks ago, yeah. I don't understand that, but apparently that's the thing. This isn't the Doctor. This isn't the show that I've come to know and love, and that's what they've made very clear. This is a remake of it in name only. That's a fantasy show rather than a sci-fi show. And like Shudagatwa said, he has very, very far left politics, and the show is going to reflect that. And Millie Gibson saying that the show is targeting Gen Z audience members will be full of controversy for old fans, and they don't care. But some people are letting their voices be heard. Yes, Rotten Tomatoes is a garbage platform. It's hard to get anything of value out of it. But seeing this distinction between the critics and the audience is always something entertaining that you can derive some value from. But 38% for that episode. That's way higher than it deserves to be.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure there's some bots in there keeping it higher.
Are you telling me that they're targeting Gen Z for Doctor Who?
Yes.
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 Gen Z doesn't even know what Doctor Who is.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, you know what? Let it burn. Let it burn.
Yeah.
Just let it burn. Because like when you say stuff like that, like, oh, we're targeting Gen Z. First of all, that sounds weird to me. That's first and foremost. I don't know why you'd be targeting children and teenagers, but that's your business. The idea that, hey, we're gonna aim at this target audience that does not have a legacy with this media is crazy talk. You don't target the, oh my God, you never target the newest generation with legacy media. That doesn't make sense.
They're retards.
I mean, like everything about this is backwards. Everything about that is backwards. If I'm going to target the Gen Z, I have to use things that their generation came up with or their generation is familiar with. Like, I don't know, TikTok, whatever. I don't know what they do. But whatever it is that they do, that's why you target them with a new product that is surrounding what they do. You're gonna try to bring Doctor Who to Gen Z. You're trying to fail and continue. I want to see
burn bright.
yeah,
Burn
I
bright.
want to see the world burn.
Give
I
me
wanna see the world
Give
burn.
me something to just rip apart. That's all I want.
Well,
Yeah, burn it all.
Let it burn.
The last thing I want to say is this episode was nowhere near as offensive as the Star Beast or the Giggle. It didn't rewrite canon in any way. It didn't
it was just bad.
destroy a legacy character like David Tennant's version of the Doctor. It was just poorly written and not a good starting point, because this is going to be the first episode, I believe, that's going to be featured primarily as the beginning of the new franchise, of the whole series 1. This is the starting point. It's a terrible starting point. If someone who never seen Doctor Who watched this episode, why would they, like, this is the first episode to a new franchise. Yeah. There's nothing to grab you. Who would watch this episode, seeing no other Doctor Who, and think, this is the start of some big franchise that I want to get invested in?
Yep, it's ridiculous. And, R.I.P. Doctor Who. Anyway, all right. Real quick, let's Super Chats came in. I'll air this one again because it's a two-parter. Sammy 1000 for $2. John Wilkes Booth was a patriot. In replying to our question of never heard that take, another $2 from Sammy 1000. Lincoln was a tyrant who ripped up the Constitution. I'd be happy to have that historical discussion with you another time. I've spent time studying the Civil War in the past, so I'd be happy to have that, but not time, place. But again, thank you, Sammy 1000 for $2. I hope to continue to earn your support. And Jay Fraser 360 for £5. Happy New Year, Roundtable. I wish you all the success in all its forms, except Dermy. Well, Dermy's not Roundtable. He's just Dermy. Adam, keep on grinding. You're closing in on 3K. RIP, Doctor. Yeah, guys, I am less than 40 away from 3,000 subscribers. Can we get me there in the next 10 hours? New Year's miracle. No, anyway, guys, thank you, everybody who has come on board in the past couple of weeks with the Doctor Who coverage. I appreciate everybody's support. And again, I'm here to earn your support through facts and logic, and I hope that you do it. And hail to everybody who's come in while we were discussing Doctor Who. Can't say hi to every single person as it was going on, but Happy New Year, everybody. If you are coming in now, I apologize that I'm off camera. My wiring in my building is still shit, and it's doing its thing where the upload speeds are crap, which means I would be a meme factory with freeze framing if I turn my camera on, so I am off camera. And I didn't get a chance to mention this, but now that we have a lot of people here, I want to just bring this up. Big shout out and thanks to our good buddy Devil Made Me Do It for our new thumbnail for the year. This is fantastic. Devil just said, Adam, you want a thumbnail? I'm working on one. I said, dude, go for it. And Devil just cranked it out. Devil's fantastic making thumbnails. Always makes great ones for Ballbusters and a lot of other stuff. So thanks to Devil Made Me Do It. His channel is Beelzebub. No, sorry, Beelzehub. There's Beelzebub tonight for New Year's. You may see me there. I might be there. So go check out Devil. He's a great friend of the channel. Essentially my co-host on Mellow Mondays. But this is great. Thank you, Devil. This is awesome. I truly appreciate it. And again, Happy New Year, everybody. If you're join the show, guys, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Here we go. Lyle Hammock just dropped $20. Hello, gents. I'm currently enjoying the holidays with the family, so I can't say. Just dropping by to wish you all very Happy New Year and celebrate a hopefully much better 2024. So here's to us and the stories we love. Hail. Hail howdy you, Lyle Hammock. Thank you for the $20. And have fun with your family. You can watch it on the replay. I will leave it up for 24 hours or roughly so like I usually do. And the playlists are always there. If you missed it, once I take it down, once I enlist it, the playlists are there. You can catch past episodes. Thank you again. And thank you again, Lyle Ham, for the $20. And indeed, we're gonna look forward to 2024 because now here's where we're gonna spin. I got no plan for what we're gonna say now. We're just gonna go. We're gonna riff it. Winners and losers of 2023. I think without a doubt we can say when it came to Western entertainment, 2023 was dog shit. Massive dog shit. We had some victories, but it came at a cost. So I'm going to open it up now. I've got a couple ideas, but I'm going to let you guys go first. Dre, what are your winners and losers of 2023?
Okay.
If you have a plan or off the top of your head.
Oh yeah. So winners. First, I'm gonna do categories. Winners, independent comics are winners.
Oh, and guys, yeah, it's everything across the board, not limited. Even stuff we don't normally talk about here on Roundtable. So
yeah, we're winners this year. Independent. This is the best year for independent comics in the history of the business, and from Eric July to all the way down to everybody. Pretty much everybody did well this year. And I'm very, very thankful that Marvel and DC is an absolute dumpster fire. Their failure has been my elevation. This has been the greatest year I've ever had in the independent business. And as of right this very second, I'm about to get Butterball naked because I've hit my goal. I've hit my goal.
You bring it back up.
As of right now, I've hit my goal. I'm gonna share.
I got it right here.
Okay.
I got it right here. I just set up to them. Oh, maybe it hasn't updated.
Yep. Yes, it's updated on my end here.
Okay. All right. Let me check it right here. Let me refresh it. See if it updated for me.
Yeah. Wow. That's it. So
yeah, there it is. There it is. Yeah. All right, guys. Woohoo!
There it is.
Hell yes.
There it is.
All right. Yeah.
That's it.
Outstanding. We did it, guys. We're in bonus territory now. We're in bonus territory.
Yeah. Everything from here is gravy. So I'm fired up. Thank you, everybody, for those who contributed, those who have shared it around, those that have helped me on campaigns, those that have interviewed me, all that great stuff. This has been a glorious time. This has been a glorious year. December 31st, 2023 is the year of the independent comics.
I am
plain and simple.
So
the
glad
year
we
of our
do
Lord.
this live for you. I'm so glad we get this done live for you. This is awesome. Iron Age, baby. Iron Age.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So winners, independent comics, straight up and down. Also, winners, I'm going to go by a little bit of studios. Illumination Studio was a winner this year. They're a winner this year. They did great stuff with Mario Brothers. Great film. I enjoyed it. I did my top 5 movies on Friday, and that definitely was in my it was number 2 on my list, second behind Godzilla. So I really enjoyed that. That's a winner. Losers. Okay.
That's not a lot of winning going on.
Not a lot of winning. Not a lot of winning. Toho winners. Let me put that out there too. Yeah. Toho, Godzilla winners. Everyone else losers. Disney, Warner Brothers, Legendary. Every film, just about every major blockbuster film bombed. The overwhelming majority, Hollywood, losers. Losers. Disney, losers. Liberal media, losers. Like the list goes on and on and on and on. And this is a glorious year for these losers because, one more winner. I forgot. One more winner. The viewing public was a winner this year.
Okay.
They said no with their dollars.
I get what you're saying now. Yeah.
They said no with their dollars. They have finally stood up to these whores that have been trying to push nonsense down our throats for at least 5 consecutive years and have said enough is enough. And it's not enough to just say no, like, it's no. They said no with their dollar bills. And thank God Almighty that they finally open their eyes. The normies have finally opened their eyes, smelled the hot coffee. Folgers. Oh, dang, sorry. Flashback. I'm so glad that the viewing public won this year because they said no with their dollars and have watched every single industry burn to the ground. Film industry, comic industry, all form of entertainment. it's dead. It's dead and it's buried. And these idiots, not only have they lost 2023, they've lost for the foreseeable future because they
Yeah.
have set a tone that's just going to destroy everything else that's sitting in their wake. And I can't wait. This has been a good year for the viewing public. Entertainment has been horrible, but the viewing public, winners, every form of media outlet and or film industry as a whole, losers, and I'm fired up.
Hell yeah. I mean, I have within that I have my stuff to say. But Jed, what are your winners and losers?
Well, the biggest winner for me is Christopher Nolan, partially because of the astronomical success of Oppenheimer, but also because of how he stood up against the streaming services and stuff like that.
Yes.
And the comments he had about these studios were quite harsh. And he's going to continue to make physical media, which is making a stand these days with a lot of companies no
Yeah.
longer carrying physical media, like Best Buy and I think Walmart are the two primary ones getting away from physical media for both games and television and movies. It's kind of a weird choice, but Nolan is standing up for the medium that he prefers, and I think that's definitely a winner category for him. Some of the other things, games have been very hit or miss, but I think the gaming industry is off to a much better year than the movie industry as a whole. We got some good games. Didn't really get a whole lot of good movies, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to mention Five Nights at Freddy's. That was a big win for me. I've never been a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's. I've never played any of the games prior to watching the movie, but I vastly enjoyed the movie and thought it was very enjoyable. But losers is, of course, the more interesting category.
Yeah.
We've got, of course, Doctor Who, which I've chronicled very in depth on my channel, but we've also got Marvel, and there's a Marvel property that hasn't been talked about, which recently came out. Is anyone talking about What If season 2?
I've watched the cringe clips.
I didn't even know it was
post.
airing
Well,
until like yesterday.
Dre, I've actually got a couple images from the season.
Oh,
Does this
no.
make you want to watch?
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
What if?
Yeah, they did.
Just turn it off. Just
Yeah,
turn,
but
turn it off.
that is Captain Carter with the Infinity Stones, Hela's helm, and some glowing ghost sword.
And-
This
and
is
you're
why
not even-
I don't.
And she's not even on thing. Do you have the one of the? There she is. Yeah, show him the original hero, the Native American chick that they made who aced Killmonger with all the Infinity Stones with the snap of her fingers.
Yeah, I did. That's the clip. That's the clip I actually saw yesterday because I did not know that this joint was even airing. I didn't even know it was even airing until I saw that clip. I was like, wait a minute, that's not how the Infinity Stones work. That's the first thing I said out my mouth. I didn't even register that. I think that's supposed to be Moonblood. I think that's who that's supposed to be.
She
I'm
connected
not sure.
to Echo, I'm sure.
It's some original thing they made up for this.
Whatever
Out of
that
nowhere.
he demon is, I don't know what that thing is supposed to be. But right when I saw it, I said, okay, that's not how the Infinity Stones work. My nerd brain turned on immediately. I didn't even register what kind of demon baby shenanigans was going on. But I was like, hey, that's not how the stones work. If they're in a different dimension, they don't work at all. So if that was Thanos that got snapped away, that shouldn't have happened. So my brain kicked that in. I'd sit there and think about it. I said, wait a minute. Did some broad just take his soul? I'm like, what did wait a minute. What just happened?
Well,
like,
women can crush our souls pretty easily.
Well, that's true. And our wallets. But that's a different thing. But my thing is this is why I didn't watch the first What If season because I had no interest because I already knew what the what if, because I grew up with the real What If comics when they were actually taking ideas that would change canon or whatever, something inventive. All they're gonna do is invoke woke garbage, and that's all they've done, minus the one they did with Hank Pym becoming Yellow Jacket and murdering everybody. That was actually interesting. The rest of this crap is the same. Like, oh, what if fill in the blank was a woman? Like, I'm not interested. I don't give a crap. That's not interesting to me. What if it used to be creative genius? This is garbage. Just the idea. What if every woman is a girl boss? Thanks. Thanks. We haven't had that 876 million times already. Thank you and good night. And just get rid of this mess. Is anybody watching this?
No.
Anybody?
No,
Chat.
that's
Is anybody in
nobody's
chat
this.
watching this?
Nobody's
Because
watching this. None.
because I don't know. Because I literally did not know it was happening until yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I just know because I surf for this shit and I try to stay abreast of it, and even though I don't cover it directly.
Well, and Hollywood has had a lot of failed reboots and remakes of the last year, right?
Yeah.
Too.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely a loser category, but they're not learning their lesson. This is some new news. I don't know if you guys know that they're making a Die Hard prequel focusing on young John
they tried
McClane.
that. I thought that got canned.
Oh, they tried it a long time ago, but they're restarting it. Yeah, there was going to be Die Hard 6, but now they're working on it again.
Oh no! They will never learn their lessons.
Wait, they're trying to make
it's a prequel.
Prequel? Why would you have a prequel to Die Hard?
I mean, where's the man survives multiple terrorist incidents in the future? Whatever you do is meaningless. It's meaningless. I hate prequels. I hate the concept of prequels.
I do as well. But yeah, that's what we're getting is more prequels, more remakes, more reboots, no matter how many of them fail this year. But I think the most important failures of this year are the ones that benefited us the most. The actors and the writer strikes.
Ooh.
Oh, mommy.
Those failed hard, but they were gifts sent by God above to spare us a few months of cringe. I am so grateful both strikes happened. And yeah, the actor strike might start up again because the agreement was only tenuous. It was only a tenuous agreement to get them till January. Wow. So in a couple days or a couple weeks, unless it's changed in my vacation, in my 2 weeks off or whatever, that was the last I heard, is that it was a tenuous agreement, but they'd still have to renegotiate in January.
Yeah. The strikes, massive losers, because it pulled the curtain back. It pulled the curtain back. You see what these people are. I mean, my favorite thing about this is what came to the strikes is the turning AI into the boogeyman. AI is the boogeyman. AI is going to take over everything, this and that. No, AI isn't a threat to people who are actually creative and can actually put out content and ideas that are original. AI is a threat to the people who are dog shit, who can't write, who can't think of anything new, because the AI will, or at least in the current version it accumulates content that has already been created and then spews out an idea very similar to it. That's what these idiots do. So of course they're scared of AI because it will replace them, because it puts out the same soulless drivel that they come up with. But people like myself, Dre, Jed, we're not afraid of AI. We understand it's a tool. We understand it put in the hands of people who know how to properly use it. It could be a helpful tool for putting out ideas, seeing if something works when you just see it just splayed out there in front of you. Or let's just say in the art idea. Listen, AI art can be very, very weird.
Yeah.
But it's true artists. It's not going to replace art. And as long as you understand it's a tool, and especially can be a good tool for people like us who, while Dre's involved with art, Dre, you can't draw for shit, can you?
Nope. Not for 1 second.
Not for 1 second. But as someone who is the brains behind the visuals you want to put out there, if you know how to use the tool that is AI, you could put something out there and it would create a generalized idea of what you want, and you could put it in front of the artist and say, this is kind of what I'm looking for. Jay, you've done it recently.
I have. So for those of you who are unaware, I recently started writing a new book set in a sci-fi environment, and I'm very much enjoying it. I'm about a couple chapters into the first draft, but because it's a sci-fi, there's going to be spaceships, there's going to be all sorts of futuristic technology, and I have zero drawing capabilities, and I might struggle to get it described perfectly for an artist to create it for me. So I've used AI art to get at least an idea of what I'm thinking about, so I can give it to my artist and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking, to give them a great foundation to start off from. I'm still going to use an artist for the actual stuff in the book. I'm still going to pay someone to do the illustrations for inside the book. But without AI art, it would have been substantially more effort for me to get across what I really was looking for.
Yeah.
So,
So
it's a good tool, but it's not a replacement. It's not the end all be all.
It's not the boogeyman. It's not the boogeyman. It's
It
not.
is
We're not
not.
afraid of it. There's no AI takeover coming on. I mean, I recently I have my weekend discussions with my mom as she catches up on things and asks me to explain things to her that are happening in this world, because she reads more mainstream articles, and as we know, they're all late to the party. So even though she knows I talk about the stuff, we have conversations, when she reads one of these people who finally get to it, she asks me about it. And I just had a conversation with her the other day about how, okay, she asked me, what is going on with the AI? Can you explain this to me? And I said, and I went through just what we just talked about, how for people who have no talent, it's the boogeyman, but for everybody else, we're not afraid of it. AI is we're also not at Skynet levels. It's not, and we're not at that moment where we're afraid our AI overlords are going to take over. But according to AIR, they understand that we like women with large breasts. So I'm ready for that takeover. That'll work.
Yes.
I'm okay with that. But there is no fear. And that's the greatest thing that came out of the whole strike thing. We revealed these people for the idiots they were. Morons. Oh, we're afraid of AI. We want our fair wage. I should be paid for every hour I stand here in the dress. Shout out to you, Queen Rachel. I look forward to your shit for the next year. We'll get to that in a minute, though. But there it is. That's what I love. Jed, you're absolutely right. The strike were all massive losers because it pulled back the curtain of how empty Hollywood is. They're empty. They're soulless. They aren't here to give us entertainment. They're here to push their agenda. They've learned nothing. Let's just look at Barbie. Barbie is a winner. For a blink this summer, Warner Discovery was a winner because they made a movie that made over $1 billion. Now, they're still tens of billions of dollars in debt, but they made a movie for a specific group of people, and those people turned out to see it after, as Dre has said repeatedly, one of the most incredible marketing campaigns of all time.
All time.
That's a winner. But then Hollywood's a loser, and they learn the wrong lessons. Let's start the Mattel verse. Let's start a new Hasbro verse. Let's start making movies on board games and toys that people don't care about. Let's learn the wrong lessons. All right, my winners and losers. My winner, again, the winner. We start with the winners because the winner is short. One of my winners, and I was right to be proven wrong on this one because look, Adam can admit he's wrong. I was right to be proven wrong. Ichiro Oda Sensei, creator of One Piece, massive winner this year because he achieved his dream of bridging One Piece between the weebs and the normies with One Piece live action. One Piece live action, massive win. I said it was going to be terrible. I was proven wrong. It worked. It did what it needed to be done. It made One Piece palatable to the anime noobs and to the normies. And here we go. People are ecstatic for it. It's the new Cobra Kai. For now. They got to stick the landing on season 2. And we'll be talking about that in the next
and the anime remake.
Oh, yeah. Well, Jeremy and I talked about that on Thursday. The One Piece. That's a loser thing. See, here's the thing. Netflix can be both winner and loser at the same time. Netflix has essentially won streaming because they were there first. They survived, and they are still licensing stuff. And when they have a winner, they have a winner. When they have a loser, they have a loser. But then they have a winner, and they're going to spend their goodwill on adapting something, again, that doesn't need to be adapted. We just said One Piece
Shout out
to
The Witcher.
That's I'm surprised that wasn't on your loser list this year.
And it's just too much. That was like 6 months ago. How can I remember that much crap? But yes, The Witcher is on my very much the loser list.
Yeah, so Netflix loses going in the future. This isn't a loser now. It's a loser going forward where they're going to adapt One Piece as an anime, rebooting, retelling the first East Blue arc with an animation studio that isn't, in my opinion, suited for the animation style of One Piece. So
Now, is
that,
Oda Sensei involved in that one?
not that I can see. I have looked very hard in every article talking about Netflix, the One Piece. Oda is not involved. And that is the only reason One Piece live action worked, because Oda was involved. So that's a future loser.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
My-
I hate the whole "the" thing. I've hated it for years. The Predator, the Suicide Squad. I really liked the Suicide Squad, but just call it something else or
Yeah.
add in like Suicide Squad 2 or something. The is not enough of a distinguishing feature.
Agreed.
Let's see.
Agreed.
My other winners, us, the independent creator. Dre said independent comics. I'm calling us the independent creator because this year in 2023, we were proven right on just about everything that we took a stand on. And I'm not talking about my opinion on whether or not One Piece live action would be good. When it came to all the predictions each and every one of us made in every which way about what was going to win or lose, we were right. Let's see. Indiana Jones and the Dial-Up of Destiny. We said it was going to be a massive bomb. Oh boy, it was a massive bomb. The Marvels. Everybody said it was going to be bomb. We had no idea it was going to be like this. But oh
It was
wow,
something special.
it was especially horrible in terms of its complete failure. And even though they changed it, they changed it, but at least for a minute on the numbers, and I'm going to share this because other websites had it over as well. I was right. I was right.
You nailed it.
I was right. That's right. I was right. Ha-ha!
You are such a prostitute. It's not even fair.
I was right. Ha-ha! I did it. No, you know what I needed? I should have had a Dave Chappelle clip. It's a celebration, bitches. I should have had that ready. I should have had that ready. I wasn't expecting to do that though. That was off the cuff. But yeah, I was right. I nailed it. It did between 200, 250. Ha-ha!
You got it.
Hey, we're competitive here. God damn it. Anyway, but us, the independent creator, we were right. A lot of channels exploded this year because they were speaking truth. A lot of people catch on because we're talking about the things that we as nerds, we understand. I have spent my entire life, literally since I was 3 years old, being a Star Wars fan. So when I want to talk about Star Wars, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Star Trek. I've been a Star Trek fan almost as long as a Star Wars fan. And I put my money where my mouth is because I bought for the first time, because it was at a price that was acceptable to me, TNG, Star Trek Next Generation Blu-ray Complete Series. I was ready. It was time. I'm a fan. I put my money into things I love. I spend my money on things I like. We, the independent creator, we were right because we're the fans. We are the lifeblood of everything. We know how these things work. When we talk about something, when I talk about anime, when I talk about these games, all these shows, these movies, I talk about the things I understand. I talk about these things I understand, and it's the authenticity. We win. We're the winners because we are the authentic. We're the authentic analysts. We're the authentic commentators. We are the ones who get it. And you here in this chat, in all the chats across the fellowship, in this sphere, you guys have made us the winners because you've come to us and you said, we hear what you say. We thank you for putting into words what we think all the time, for making us understand that we're not alone in all of this, and for not giving up, for taking the slings and arrows that all the shills and the bots, the fake fans, the tourists, these SJWs, these woke cards, all of them pushed forward by the corporations to take us down. We take it. We're not affected by it. In fact, I have fun with it at this point. We do it because we know, we see your reaction to us saying thank you. Whether it's with monetary compensation or just staying in the chat or a like, those little things tell us we're so good. We're moving forward. We're reaching the people we want to win. And we are claiming the victory of hearts and minds. So we, the independent creator, are winners because our voice is being heard, and these corporations and the fake fans hate it. Whenever one of us gets a If you don't like it, don't watch it. This wasn't made for you. All that tells me is I am pushing the exact button I should be pushing to trigger these little idiots. And they are scared. They're nervous. They're afraid. And they don't want to hear what we have to say, because when we talk about it, when I talk about Wheel of Time, when I talk about Halo, when I talk about Disney Star Wars, a normie may come along. They'll hear that I myself, or when Jed talks about The Witcher, when Dre talks about DC, when we spit truth, facts, and logic, a normie will come along and they will hear it and say, wow, I can see these dudes know what they're talking about. They're coming at me with actual stuff. I can see them. Look at all those books behind them. Look at all their all the models, all the kits, all the posters, all the great things that show they are a fan of something behind them, and it's a legitimate stuff. I'm not some Disney stan that just has a bunch of High Republic and Ahsoka crap behind me. No, I got 30 plus years of actual Star Wars books behind me. I got my Mara Jade behind me, which tells you where my loyalties lie. They say, okay, this person looks legitimate. They know what they're talking about. I'm going to keep listening to them. I'm not going to listen to this person who's yelling about how great it is that two characters are gay in their headcanon fan fiction. I'm not going to listen to them. They're going to listen to us. So that's why we're the winners. And it's the chat, the subscribers, everybody supports us. You made us the winners. That's one. As far as losers, you guys have already mentioned it. A lot of them. My biggest loser of 2023 is Disney. Disney. Disney is the biggest loser because Jed mentioned it. He mentioned the MCU. He mentioned remakes, reboots, flops. Guess what? That's all under the umbrella of Disney. Oh, let us count the ways. Disney Star Wars. Massive flop. The numbers did not hold up at all in anything they put out this year. In fact, their Samba numbers, because that's the only thing that's relatively accurate, that and sort of Nielsen shows drops. These shows couldn't even rank unless, as we talked about earlier, you go to the subcategories.
For some of them.
Some of them, yeah.
Not all of them even made it to that point.
Willow, so bad they had to take it off the streaming service in order to make money on it. That's how bad Willow was. And Jed and I tapped out after episode 1. We shouldn't have. We should have covered that to the end. We should have done it, but we were tired, and I was in the middle of my computer dying on me. So I was at a low at that point. So I didn't have the heart. But oh man, we should have gone in hard. I wish I didn't have the stamina at that point. I got the stamina now.
No one cared enough.
Disbrew cared enough. He made a lot of money on that. I should have. I didn't have the stamina for Willow, though. But I do have the stamina for Disney Star Wars. I showed you guys how bad all these shows were this season, how bad the High Republic is, how bad it received, how much nobody cares about the upcoming Rey movie, although I care about the Rey movie. I want that Rey movie. I need that Rey movie because that'll prove once for all how bad it is. I'm ready for Acolyte. We'll get
because you're an old sick bastard. That's why you put that movie.
I'm not gonna watch it, Adam. Well, that's all you, man. That's all you. Oh,
Acolyte's gonna be a glorious woke pronoun disaster. It's gonna be great. We'll get to that in a minute. That's 2024.
Well, what we should do, Adam, is put together all the Disney releases, add their budgets together, and add in their box office together, and see how much money that they've lost.
Yeah, I apologize, Jay Fraser. That's my upload connection. There's nothing I can do about that. The wires in my building suck, and right now the signal is at its lowest at the moment. So I apologize if I'm roboting, guys. I apologize. There's nothing I can do about it. Anyway, Disney also, as Jim mentioned, remake, reboot central. The live action failures. Little Mermaid still didn't make money. Lost a couple $100 million, in fact. Thank you. Halle Bailey's supposed to be the next big thing. Here's something I want to bring up. I've been saving this, guys. I have been saving this one. Halle Bailey's supposed to be the next big thing, right? She's right alongside Queen Rachel Zegler. She's in a movie that came out last week, right?
Rachel Zegler?
No. Halle Bailey.
Oh, what? The Color Purple?
Yes. Color Purple. Now, there are no exact numbers out there, but I did a little research, and from what I can understand, Color Purple cost $100 million to make. $100 million.
Most of that went to the cast, I'm sure.
Currently sitting at $45.3 million. It's been about a week.
That high?
Yeah, but let's look at the box office, though. Progressively losing money, basically. It needs to make about, what, 150, 200 to break even.
What, the resolution's low. Is that 61% or 81% for this?
61. 61.
61. Oh,
jeez.
That was the day after Christmas. It had its big Christmas opening, and then it dropped, and it steadily dropped, recovered a little bit this weekend because it is the weekend, but then it dropped right back down. This movie will not have legs. It'll not make money, but it was supposed to be Halle Berry. Halle Berry. The next big thing, she can sing. She is a Little Mermaid. I still get blocked by Little Mermaid stands when I say she's not the Little Mermaid. They can't handle it. They can't handle it. But that's failure. That's what failure looks like. Halle Bailey is what loser looks like. Rachel Zegler is what loser looks like because it's Disney. It's a loser. These remakes, these reboots, everything. They all lose money. They cost a lot of money to make it. They all lose money. Pixar made no money. Made no money. None at all. So that's why, and then of course, Disney's other problems. It's facing a proxy war in the coming year. Bob Iger can't put confidence behind the stock anymore. Bob Iger having to blame COVID for the problems with the Marvels. Disney being sued left and right. They closed the Galactic Star Cruiser, a near $1 billion boondoggle hotel. Lost a lot of money on that one. The parks are still working, but they're not at high octane levels that we've seen in the past. Disney lost billions over the past couple of years, especially this year, billions in the movie theaters. They have no property or selling. Disney Plus just pulls money into the black hole that it is, gives nothing back. So that's why Disney is my biggest loser this year, and it's only gonna get better because they can't do anything to save it. Because now let's look 2024, and Jay Frazier has asked us for £2. What media are you all looking forward to in 2024? So let's start with that. Let's talk 2024. Jed, are you looking forward to anything in 2024, media-wise?
Not really. There were a few movies that I'm gonna watch, but nothing that's like, oh, I gotta watch the opening weekend or anything. Like, I'm interested in watching Argyle at some point. If Mission Impossible does end up coming out next year, I'll check it out. Deadpool, probably gonna watch that at some point. And I think there's one other near the end of the year, but nothing that's like, I have to watch this. Ooh, I'm really excited. It's more like, I'll give those things a chance. So nothing I would say looking forward to or excited about on the movie front. TV show wise, I'm not looking forward to the Avatar series like some other people I know. I'm not looking forward to the Witcher stuff that's coming out because we're still supposed to...
looking forward to it.
My channel's looking forward to the Witcher stuff because we're supposedly supposed to get Sirens of the Deep as well as the Rats next year. Might not happen, especially with the Rats having their production issues, but those are still, at least of right now, planned for next year. But overall, TV show-wise, I can't think of a single one that I'm looking forward to watching. I'm just going to be going back and watching old stuff. Joe from What's Her Bucket? I can't remember what her new name is. Joe Rosie, previously Latina Locked and Loaded. She's trying to get me into Battlestar Galactica, so I might get into that.
I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on that because I'm a heathen. I'm a heretic when I say this because it is an outlier opinion. I'm not a fan of the remake in the end. I didn't like the way it started. It was kind of okay in the middle, and I thought the ending was. I didn't like the ending. So I am not the biggest fan of Galactica. So I'll be interested to hear your take on it when you're done with it.
Yeah, she's trying to get me to watch the remake, so that's what I'm going to start with is the remake. But we'll see if I enjoy that. But game wise, I can't think of anything that's coming out next year. None of the Witcher stuff or Cyberpunk stuff is set to come out for several more years. So I can't think of a single thing that I would say looking forward to. Some things that I'm gonna give a chance, some things that I'm gonna get around to eventually, but nothing that I'd say, yes, that is something I'm excited for. That's something I'm looking for. Not a single thing.
Okay, Dre.
So mine's gonna be in a couple categories. I'll do the movie one first. I'm really looking forward to one. I'm sure I'll see more, but I'm looking forward to one. I'm looking forward to watching Deadpool 3. Because I
We're
think
all gonna watch that for review
yeah, because I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be like it's gonna be like the No Way Home esque
Mm.
film,
Mhm.
something like something that's taken out of time, and everybody's just gonna have fun. So I got that kind of feeling because Ryan Reynolds gets it, and he
Yes.
knows what he's doing, and I think he's just gonna give us goofy fun, and that is one thing I am looking forward to. Television wise, cock all, none. Not one thing am I looking forward to. Will I watch something? Yeah, I might cover Avatar just for the channel. I might
Mhm.
cover it, but like initially, I saw the costumes like, hey, it looks like Avatar, but I've been tricked before. Okay,
Yeah.
so it looks like Avatar, it smells like Avatar, but I got a really bad feeling.
Mhm.
All the same because Netflix is Jekyll and Hyde. One day they'll give us a freaking hit,
And
then
it's
the
only
next
8
time,
episodes. It's only 8
yeah, yeah.
episodes.
Of course. You'll give me a hit that's 8 episodes long, then you'll give me garbage that somehow has 12 episodes or whatever. So I'm not I'll probably cover it, but I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Video game wise, um nothing. I'm still playing old games. So
Mhm.
I'm enjoying um Alien Dark Descent. That game is actually really fun, really good. I highly recommend it. And I'm still playing Marvel Midnight Suns. Even though I've
Mm.
beaten that game several times, the gameplay is a lot of fun. So I'm not really looking forward to any new games that are on the horizon. A lot of it just looks like a bunch of woke nonsense. I'm not really into it. Now, the big jalopy. My reading comics. There's some good stuff coming out next year. Shout outs to the Rippaverse, and the Saska sisters, who I love dearly. They're great, and I like a lot of the work they do. They're bringing a comic called Yara, and I am looking forward to adding that to my graphic novel collection. It looks like it's going to be a lot of good. They're good writers, so like I'm really looking forward to what they got going on, and they shout me out here and there, so which is even better.
Nice.
so so they're great. I love them. They're wonderful people. So that on that front, as far as independent comics are concerned, there's a couple of good ones coming down the line. There's another one called Avalon that's coming um down the pipeline. That one's going to be really good. So there's going to be a lot of good independent graphic novel comics coming down the line. And and I'll prostitute myself. My work is going to be mass produced as officially as of today is
Woo!
gonna be is gonna be mass produced. So there's a lot of good independent comic stuff coming down the pipeline in 2024. So that I'm really legitimately looking forward to. But everything else from mainstream media I've pretty much checked out. Minus those few exceptions.
Okay. Myself. I'll start with what you guys are movies. I don't care about any movie coming out. Not a one. Some people say, Adam, you're a Dune guy. You're interested in Dune 2. I still have to see Dune 1. I'm going to watch them back to back, and then I'll give you my feelings on it. But I have very little faith on it because I don't like a lot of what goes into it. Even I'll tell you if it's good or bad. I'll be as objective as I can be, but I don't care about movies in anymore here in the West. I just don't. I went to a couple movies this year, partially out of obligation and partially out of I was interested. I did want to see Mario, and I wanted to be able to talk about that. But, dude, I didn't even see Mission Impossible yet. I haven't even seen Mission Impossible yet. I don't care. I haven't even seen John Wick 4 yet. I just don't care about Western cinema anymore because nothing's entertaining. Either everything's a winding down on a franchise, or it's remakes, reboots, or it's destroying things I like. So, uh, Biffer, The Hobbit. I didn't even see Bad Boys 3. Bad Boys ended for me with Bad Boys 2, which I love Bad Boys 2. I love that movie. That movie's great. They go to Cuba and they blow shit up. It's awesome. But I didn't even see 3. Uh I
It
have
was okay.
That junk was trash. I don't give a crap. Yo, Bad Boys 3 was weird. It was weird.
I asked for that movie 20 years ago. I
Yeah,
wanted it
thank
I
you.
wanted it 20 years ago. I didn't want it couple years ago. Not fat Martin Lawrence and Will Smith and Will Smith getting murdered. I don't want that. I'm not what I'm looking for. I wanted that 20 years ago when they still had it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why
it's weird.
yeah.
Yo, me and my wife went to go see that Joe in theaters. We both looked at each other like, what the heck are we watching? I'm like, I don't know. I'm very confused. I'm very confused. But
Yeah.
I mean, okay, give fair. It's dumb fun. Give credit where due, I guess. It's dumb fun. But they try to be serious on certain points and it gets
Whatever. Yeah. So
weird.
I have no interest in movies. So when we do movies, it'll be more you guys, other people talking about it. I will not chime in for the most part. Okay, maybe once in a blue moon, I will give you a take on something. Like I will probably give my thoughts on Deadpool 3 because that'll be the thing. We're all gonna have to weigh in on that because that's gonna be the outlier, and we're gonna have to talk about why it's the outlier, why it's the only movie that in Disney's entire catalog next year. And I'm talking about the entire tentpole, every single studio, why it's the only one that's probably gonna make real money. But all right, so TV. TV. I look forward to Cobra Kai season 6. More that. Because it's the end, the conclusion, and it made me all the seasons made me smile. So I have no reason not to believe it's still not going to make me smile. Everything else you guys have mentioned it. It's mostly for review purposes that I'm watching. I'm not watching Avatar because I really want to watch it. I'm watching it so I can see if it's going to be a trash fire or not. I'm going to be watching Halo because I know it's going to be a trash fire. I'm going to be watching all the Disney shit because I know it's going to be a trash fire. We'll talk more about that in a minute. I can't even think of anything else coming out on regular American Western television or even some foreign stuff. I mean, there's nothing out of the BBC this year. There were years where there was stuff coming out of the BBC when they made good shit that I would look forward to, but that ain't happening anymore. So I'm not into Korean TV, so I'm not looking forward to that. What I am looking forward to, I'm a weeb. Every season, I get a ton of anime to watch. So every season, like right now, I just got the fall 2023 season for anime. I just got it all set up for myself. I burned through a season last night, The Eminence and Shadow season 2. Good Lord, I had a great time last night. I had a fantastic time last night, burning through that, laughed my ass off, plenty of great fan service, just fun and amusing. I had a ball. And I look forward to that for the next year because there's a lot of great stuff, both being released as movies. I mean, because that's what the anime studios are doing now. Sometimes they're taking their franchises and they're not doing seasons, but they're doing movies for the arcs. So there's a bunch of great shows that are getting movie arcs. There's a bunch of new series coming out, a bunch of continuing series. I got a lot of great stuff to look forward to anime-wise. I will share that with you guys through Anime Odysseys the year goes on. So that is what I'm looking forward to on TV-wise. And in some cases, movie-wise as well. Gaming. I got games I'm looking forward to. We got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in February. I've got Grand Blue Fantasy Relink in February. I've got Final Fantasy 14 new expansion in the summer. I got to play through finish the previous 2 to get to that. There's a lot of little games coming around. I have a big backlog of games I'm still working through. So there's game stuff coming out, a few things here and there that I am excited for, looking forward to, that in some way, shape, or form you guys will share with me through streaming. And I'm going to give you guys an announcement at the end of the show about what we're doing with gaming going forward. And I'll be repeating that throughout the week. But as far as anything else, I look forward to YouTube, what we do media-wise, what we're going to be putting out. It's a new year. It's a fresh start. We're going to try and come to you with the best stuff. I look forward to watching the YouTubers I watch because perfect example right now, one of the games I'm playing for myself, I'm doing a lot of grinding, doing a lot of gathering, making shit. It's hours of busy work, but I'm having a great time doing it. But you know what I love putting on? I love putting on a stream of somebody I enjoy, whether they're talking on a panel or playing a game. It's just there. It keeps me company while I'm doing the grind, and I'm having a fine time listening and have a fine time playing a game. It's a nice little symbiotic relationship. That's the media I look forward to. I look forward to our sphere, the fellowship, continuing to do what we're going to do and to entertain me, because I entertain you guys, but I'm also one of you. In many other channels, I'm in the chat just like you, looking to be entertained, and that's what I look forward to in terms of media, the independent creator. So Jay Fraser, I hope you got your 2 pounds worth for that one there. But now let's talk about what we are looking forward to. What are our predictions? 2024. Jed, do you have any predictions going forward? And I'm going to ask you guys a question at the end of it, when I've been promising we'd give you guys an update for. So what are you looking forward to? What do you think's going to happen going forward in entertainment? We're going to leave the crazy shit in politics out of it for now.
Yeah, no, of course. Well, I mean, you have to mention the political stuff at least to a certain extent.
Bit.
They're
It's
gonna
influencing, yeah.
They're just gonna double down, just like they did. 2016 is the year that we would go back to when all this changed.
Yes.
When entertainment, that was the turning point, was 2016. This is gonna be just like that, I think, where they're just gonna double down, triple down. Everything's gonna be way more political than it has been even this last year, which is really saying something. So there's of course gonna be a lot more politically driven storytelling, just like 2016. But I think we're going to start seeing some positive change, not in the big studios, not in the big games, but I think the independent sphere, which we've already started to see this year, is going to really blow up. And obviously, it's nowhere going to near replace the mainstream quite yet, but I think we're going to see a lot of progress because people are excited for Island in the Stars, for example.
Yes.
People are excited about Rippaverse, what Dre's doing. And what I'm trying to do is write more books. Is the entertainment, the independent sphere, I think, is gonna grow substantially this year, especially if this trend in Hollywood continues. We've seen the audience rejecting it. We've seen more box office flops this year than I think we've ever seen in a single year before. We've seen everyone rejecting this stuff, so they've got to turn somewhere. So I think we're going to see a continuation of the trend of lower box office, continuation of the trends of less viewership figures for TV shows, and a growth in the entertainment, in the independent sphere. I think that's overall what we're going to see. I'm sure there's going to be flops that would make studios reevaluate themselves in normal conditions, but I don't think there's really going to be anything that's going to substantially make these studios change their minds quite yet. If this year didn't make them shake in their boots and realize we've got to stop all this nonsense and start making fan-focused material, I don't think this next year's quite going to do it yet either. But we're going to see more flops. We're going to see more disasters, more coping from the fans, and just a general shrinking of the money potential for the mainstream and a growth of the money potential in the independent sphere.
Yeah, I don't disagree with a single word you just said. Dre, anything else on top of what Jed just said?
Yeah, Jed pretty much stole my answer. It was absolutely correct. Like, the political scene next year is going to be an absolute whirlwind of insanity on whatever side of the spectrum you're on, or whatever. It's going to be wild, and that's going to affect. Hang on, my wife is out there. Her friend just came in. Hang on.
Take over. I know where it's going. It's only gonna get worse than that. It's gonna get nuts. The politics is gonna get, and Jed is right. We try not to talk about the politics will influence because they're going to try and censor us even more. I mean, perfect example, in about half an hour, Star Trek Engage, we're going to be doing some monkeying with how we're going to stream it to you because both Ryan and Samuel had their YouTube channels shut down because they mentioned some stuff on Screaming to the Void last night. So YouTube put the kibosh on them. So their channels are currently down, which means they're going to continue to try and censor us. And we have to be very careful how we play the game. We're going to have to make up new words, new fun words, new phrases to cover our asses so that we don't get caught in the thing, so we can keep telling you what we perceive to be the truth, the facts, the logic. And that's what they want. What they want most is to silence us. So, Dre, continue.
Yeah, sorry about that. So the political spectrum is going to be absolutely insane. So I predict that the media, movies, television, the whole 9 yards, is just going to be still pushing all types of horrible garbage down our throats 24/7. More than, in my personal prediction, more than it was the previous election cycle. It's going to be absolutely insane. But with that being said, Jed can pretty much hit the nail on the head. Independents are going to freaking explode, not only in popularity, but in profit. Because the American public, worldwide public, screw it. I've had enough of the political driven dribble, the ideology of whatever you identify, all that stuff. They have had enough. And there's only one place you're going to be able to find that type of connection for entertainment, and that is the independent sphere. And we are going to continue to rise. It's not even niche. Come 2024, independent is not going to be niche anymore. It's going to be the standard. Independent films, or foreign films, in certain cases, foreign films, independent films, independent comics, and independent television shows. What's that? Standalone directing films. What's that, like fall festival films, whatever the case may be, for like smaller studios. This is going to be the golden standard, and not back in the day when it used to be, oh, some weird foreign film or whatever, some movie nobody saw that wins all the awards. No, no, no. This is going to be some absolute pure quality stuff, because everything else is falling. Not to mention, as you've said, Adam, Disney's burning. The amount of debt that they're stacking up is outrageous. Warner Brothers might actually go under. Like, there's so many things that can happen in 2024 that's going to destroy the actual
There
landscape.
might be a merger between
Maybe.
Warner Brothers and Paramount.
Maybe that's been trickled around, because Paramount's not doing terrific either. So it's so much that's going down, that's going to just crush down all of what we understand is mainstream. I see a lot of it burning in 2024, and the political whirlwind is going to help it speed towards it. But the independent stuff will rise. Good content is forever. It's not up for debate. It's what it is.
Yeah.
Good content is forever. And that is what's going to push forward while everyone else burns. So I think 2024 is going to be the cleansing year, in my personal opinion.
Again, you guys have said the bulk of it. I guess I'll drill down into the nitty gritty on it. Predictions. You guys are right. The woke corporations, the woke entertainment, they won't learn their lessons. They're going to double, triple, quadruple, quintuple down on every bad decision they've made, because they live in their little liberal far left bubble. They don't hear what's going on, and they care more about politics and agenda. So they don't realize the fact that they've lost generations of fans on stuff. So 2024, they're not going to learn lessons. As you guys said, Disney, Warner, Paramount, Netflix, Amazon. Now Amazon can afford to lose money because they're Amazon, just like Apple can afford to lose money. They got more money than God. But they're not in it to win it. They're in it to just kind of play around. But the companies who need to make money on this shit, the traditional production company, traditional studios, they're going to lose more money this year. Disney's going to be a disaster. I predict Disney will be a massive disaster. We've talked about it in the past. Other channels have already gone through it. We're not going to waste your time. You've seen it already. The list of Disney's movies coming out this year, I think each and every one of them, with the exception of Deadpool 3, I think each and every one of them is a loser. I don't think anybody. I mean, I've said this in the past. I don't think Planet of the Apes movie. I don't think that's hot. I don't think anybody's really.
Yeah, the last one didn't do that well at all, and they decided that the primary human character that they're going for is the actress who played Ciri in The Witcher, an actress who doesn't know what a facial expression is. Yeah, people are gonna go see that in a movie series that's already known for its bland and uninteresting human characters. You're gonna double down with the most bland and uninteresting actor they possibly could. Yeah, that's gonna draw in a large audience at the box office.
Yeah, so I don't think there, outside of Deadpool, there's not a single movie on there on Disney's slate for this year. It's not gonna. They don't work. There's gonna be no money made, and they don't have a lot of movies come out because of the strike. Everything's everything pushed back. Snow White pushed back a year. Although I predict we're going to get more Rachel Zegler gems this year. She's going to say something. She can't help herself. They can't keep her on a leash 24/7. You just got to go look at her on Twitter. She's a goddamn narcissist. Everything is about me, 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 I. Everything's a picture of me, this and that. Dermy haunts her Twitter all the time. And that's how I see it, because he says something and it pops up. I haven't gone after her for a few weeks because frankly I needed the vacation. But I'm predict she's gonna make it even worse going into 2025. Disney's gonna be terrible.
Well, the other big movie that they have is Alien Romulus coming out in August. Not even a trailer or a single image released yet.
Nothing. And so let's look. And TV shows, what do they got? Nothing. Every single Disney Plus show. I predict Acolyte is gonna be one of the most disastrous Disney Star Wars shows ever. All these people claiming, I can't wait for it. You have no idea how bad it's gonna be. Leslie Headland, as Quarter Black Garrett once said, too ugly to be assaulted. Leslie Headland, the gatekeeper to a monster. The person who stood by and let it all happen. She is in charge of this show and has made it plenty clear its agenda. It's not Star Wars. She just likes Star Wars. She just wants to live in the world of Star Wars. She couldn't name a Star Wars movie if you tattooed it on her hand and made her read it for an hour before saying it. She has no talent. She's just one of the favorite agenda people. So Acolyte's going to be glorious. Skeleton Crew, that's going to be glorious. Nobody knows anything about this show. It's ridiculous. It's empty. It's hollow. It's nothing. The animation stuff, I don't care about the animation stuff. It's all garbage anyway. They push back Andor. They don't want to release Andor because they know it's shit. Sorry, Andor is shit. And Mando season 4, no word on that. Ahsoka season 2, no word on that. They will at some point this year go into production for the Rey movie, and I can't wait. I need that movie. That is the cherry on top. That is the cherry on top. It will make the big beautiful cake that is the disaster that is Disney. And every other live action remake they're going to put out, every other animation, they're digging into the hole. Frozen 3, Frozen 4, Toy Story 5. God himself could come down and hand them an original idea and they'd find some way to turn it into a remake. That's Disney. So Disney's going to be an even bigger disaster the year. And not to mention, they're still getting sued. They're going to owe hundreds of millions of billions of dollars to the state of Florida. They're going to lose money everywhere. And then to top it all off, Bob Iger might get ousted because a proxy war may happen. We'll cover that if it happens. We've danced around it on this show because right now it's all what ifs. We'll talk about it if and when it really happens. And that will be fun drama to play out. As for other predictions, let's see. I think that the woke mind virus is going to make one last infectious attempt this year. It's going to push itself. It's going to try and push itself into every little nook and cranny that it hasn't yet. It's going to try and infect. It's going to try and become a parasite to rot away and destroy. And you have to be very careful. Got to watch the gaming industry. They're making one last push. Sweet Baby Inc., other ones like that. They're going to, everybody involved with that, they're all going to try and make one last attempt to corrupt that stuff. But here's the thing. We've seen it. Gamers are really saying F you on this shit. I haven't talked about this, and I will try to talk about it soon. I'll explain that in a few minutes. Remember the big hullabaloo about Starfield? Everything went on around it. This week reported 90% drop off of its player base.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. Hey, let's say Az was right. Az did nothing wrong. So they're going to try, and gamers reject it because gamers just want to play their goddamn games. We just want to play games, just want to have fun. We just want to play together. So I predict they're going to make one last push everything, and they're going to use the shield of politics to do it. They can use that for cover because they're going to think nobody's been paying attention. But you know what? We're paying attention. We're watching. We are the sunlight. We are the disinfectant. We're not going to go anywhere. And then here's this. All right, so it's the end of the year. We're starting 2024. I've been promising this for about 2 months now. There's only 3 of us here. We'll get everybody else's take on this later. How many years does the MCU have left? Last time I think I said 3 to 4, which at the point that would put it 27. we could definitely reevaluate that now after the Marvels and what's coming down the road. I'm going to say MCU's got 2 years. It's got 2 years. It doesn't make it to Secret Wars. And if it does, it's going to be this wafy, wasted away creation that has zero impact on anything. No one's going to care. The Fantastic Four is going to flop. X-Men's going to flop. They can't save this thing. I say it's got 2 years left, which at this point we'll say it's 24. It's done in 26. Jed.
I don't know. It's a difficult thing to predict because Disney does have a lot of money to throw out the window, so they might be able to get it to limp along for a little while longer. But the Marvels does change the game entirely. A flop of this magnitude should be ground shaking to all of them. Reevaluate everything, Disney. That's the only way to move forward. So I still think 2 years is a reasonable one. I think I also said 3 years. Initially, I think I'm going to stick with 3 years just because they've started production, a lot of these, and they've stopped and they've started. That they've got a few years of content mostly ready to go, so I think they might be able to make it to 3 years, but they need to reevaluate. They need to start from scratch. They need to make some systematic change, and without that, they're not going to last as long as we initially predict. Some of us are saying 5 years early on this year. That's definitely unrealistic at this point unless they make some major changes. So 2 to 3 years I think is definitely fair because of the failure of the Marvels, but we'll have to see how Deadpool 3 does, and I think the next movie after Deadpool 3 is going to be Captain America 4. That one will be very indicative of the future, so we'll see. But I think 2 to 3 years. I lean way more towards 3 than 2, mainly because they've got content that is currently in the works and they've already spent substantial amounts of money on for the 2025 and 2026 slate. So I think we're at least getting that far.
Well, I said in 2026 it's going to fall apart. So that's what I'm saying. 2 years, and you're saying basically 2027 then it falls apart. Okay, Dre.
Yeah, Jed actually mentioned it just a moment ago. I remember early this year I said 5 years. That was the window that I had. I'm gonna have to reevaluate that because I think that was January of this year. I was like, 5 years. It's still like it's garbage, but it's gonna be a slow burn. Not after what I saw this year. Not after what I saw. So I am revising that. I'm giving it 2 more years. I'm giving it 2 more years. In its current form and based on what I'm seeing that's being lined up for the future. 2 years. 2 years. It's an unsustainable drop that is happening at a rate that I couldn't have predicted the amount of drop, especially with this year of our Lord of saying no with your dollars. I could not have predicted that. So I'm saying 2 years. So let's see, 2024. So 2026, I think MCU is finished unless a miracle. The MCU in its current format.
Are you saying that Pedro Pascal's Mr. Fantastic isn't a miracle?
Pedro Pascal. Está loca, Pedro Pascal. No. Absolutely not. Everything they're doing with the Fantastic Four that's been announced is just stop filming. If they are, just stop. Just don't do it.
They haven't even announced the full cast yet. They haven't even announced the full cast yet.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, whatever they're doing, just stop. It's not too late. Put your pencils down. It's not too late. Just don't do it. It's bad. So I'm going to go say in 2 years. So 2026. I think all of this at this point, at most, comes crumbling down.
The real telling thing is going to be happen if they can get to that next Avengers movie and how much that loses. That if that thing loses money, any amount of money, doesn't have to be complete flop. If it just loses a small amount of money, that's going to be the complete telling of it. Because then you can compare. Well, this is what we did at Endgame. This is what we did at Infinity War. Look where we are now. So there you go. Right. There we go. That's it. 2023 is in the books for the roundtable, guys. Once again, I want to thank everybody who's joined us, and let's go around the horn as 2024 begins. What do we got on our plates? Jed, what's going on as 2024 begins next week?
Well, before 2024 starts, I've got a video coming out in just over a half an hour now. I'll just drop that link in the chat. That'll be about the Church of Ruby Rose Road. I keep saying Ruby Rose.
Because you see blonde chick, you think Rose. I'm good with
I'm thinking like the actress Ruby Rose. I'd
Oh,
rather
exactly.
watch Ruby Rose in a movie than watch Doctor Who. That's really saying something for me because I'm not a fan of hers whatsoever. But my thoughts on that are coming out in a little bit here. But for the next week, just regularly planned videos and live streams. Hopefully, I can do some gaming. It's been well over a month since I did a gaming stream, so I'd like to jump back into some games and have some fun with the chat because it's time to start off the year strong with some good games. Might do Witcher 3,
yeah.
but we'll see. And we've got Drive-In later on this week, but I'll let Adam talk about that, plug that.
Yeah, we're back, baby. Dre, you're happy, man.
So,
Victory lap.
yeah, pretty much. 2024 is a victory lap. I plan on doing comic book tours this year. Now my brain is astir because now I gotta start working on fulfillment. I was supposed to be pushing it back till spring, but I might actually have early fulfillment. So there's a lot of good stuff happening in a very, very short period of time. So for all those that supported my Indiegogo and all the other great stuff, you guys are tremendous, and I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody reaction to my work. Seeing everybody what they have to say, feedback, if they like it, things that they want to see more of, things they want to see less of. I'm really, really excited. So 2024 is going to be the year of the treble campaign. Balo. I'm very, very excited for that. So this week it will probably be a standard week. We're going to be seeing what's going on in news, media, and all that stuff. There will also, of course, on Wednesday be a Brutal Planet Comics update talking about the final conclusion date of my Indiegogo and where we all ended up at and how we're going to be going forward with fulfillment of everybody's perks and all the great stuff. So a lot of good stuff coming up this week. This is going to be a great freaking year.
Outstanding. As for myself, starting off this week, we're back to normal. Well, sort of. If my internet fixes, maybe I'll be able to get on camera, maybe not. But tomorrow is Mellow Mondays, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, New Year's Day edition. In about 20 minutes, it's Star Trek Engage. It's already up on this channel. You can watch it here. I suggest watch it here because we're going to be all over the place because, as I said, Ryan and Samuel's channels are temporarily down. So you're going to have to find us on either the Twitch or the Kicks or the Rumbles or here where I am. Anna's not going to be there, so she won't be simulcasting it either. So you'll check it out right here. Engage. TOS episode 19. I'm sorry, 21. The Archons Return. And next week, Space Seed. Oh, yeah. Space Seed, baby. Anyway, let's see. Tonight after Engage, I'm not planning anything, but you may see me pop over on Beelzehub. Devil will be hosting a New Year's Eve Beelzepub, so I may pop in there if you want to come hang out over there. Wednesday, there will be Natural 20. Even if I can't get on camera, I got to start off the New Year strong. Got to talk about a lot of things, including the fact that there are some small changes going to be going on here at the channel to try and maximize the growth we've had in the past couple of weeks. As mentioned earlier, we're almost at 3,000 subs. I want to try and make this the breakout year where we really get things going so I can get you guys my own crowdfund, get you guys a book in your hands, try and move everything I want to do forward with this channel, with the business I want to build. Going to be, and some of you might not be happy with this, but it's for the benefit of my algorithm. I'm going to be divesting myself of gaming on this channel. I'm going to start up a gaming only channel. So going forward in 2024, gaming streams will be on a new game, probably going to be called a Renaissance Nerd Arcade. Probably what I'm going to call it. We're going to be playing, and I'll also be talking video game news, like that Starfield article news. You'll hear stuff like that. So it's going to be fresh algorithm, purely gaming. Nothing. Streams will stay up time. No coming down. No playlisting. I just want that gaming news. That's it. So that's when it happens. The day where I'm going to. So everybody watching, we can go over right away, get subscribed, get it going right away then. When it happens, we have to wait for my wiring itself again in the building. Hopefully it'll correct itself. It took about 5 days last to correct itself. Hopefully it'll correct itself into the body. As long as I'm intelligible, let me know. You guys didn't miss any of it. But so that's the problem right there. I'm roboting. My upload
It's getting pretty bad.
my upload connection stinks. So I can't game. As soon as it's new gaming channel, we'll launch it. You'll subscribe. We'll have it. That's where all gaming will be from now on. That a 5-hour game stream doesn't destroy my algorithm. Other than that, we will have Saturday Night Drive-In. We're back, baby. I haven't chosen the movie yet, but I am down to 2, both from the 80s. We're going this week. A couple movies I watched recently while I was grinding games. Down to 2. I'll let you know what they are later. And then we are back next week right here for Roundtable Eastern. Who knows what the first week in 2024 will bring? And we are going to be here to deliver you our takes, our enjoyment, entertain you. Once again, thank you one and all. If I'm not roboting horribly, thank you one and all for joining us for 2023. We hope you enjoy us in 2024. We appreciate all your support, and we will see you next time. Take it easy, everybody.